Melissa, why don't you go ahead and give Sheen's people a call and tell him he's got 20 minutes tomorrow at 10:30. All right, bye.
This just in, you were looking at obviously a very disturbing live shot
there. The plane was actually hijacked.
Do you know if there were many people in the building?
Oh, another one just hit. Something else just hit. A very large plane just hit.
That's a terrorist who threw it. World Trade Center. We know who to blame.
Today, our fellow citizens, our way of life, our very freedom came under attack in a series of deliberate and deadly terrorist acts.
Patrick, what's going on? Yeah. No, the kids are with Denise this weekend. Yeah. Why? When? Are you serious? No, man. No. Get me on the next flight to DC. I'm about an hour and a half out. I just stopped at the dry cleaner and no, I understand, man. No, I'm not even stopping to get a toothbrush. No, I'll be there. All right, hey, you're the best, man. Thanks.
All right, you got it. Hello, Mr. Sheen. Can you please wait right here, please?
Okay.
Arms up by your side. Okay. Okay, you're good. Okay. Right this way.
Good afternoon, Mr. President.
My pleasure, Charlie. Have a seat.
All right. Thank you, sir. And I should point out that I voted for you, as your promises of hope and change, transparency and accountability, as well as putting government back into the hands of the American people, that really struck an emotional chord with me. And that's, that's something that I hadn't felt in quite some time, perhaps ever.
And I appreciate that, Charlie. Big fan of the show, by the way.
Sir, I can't imagine you actually have time to watch my show, given the extent of what you inherited.
I have a T-vote on Air Force One. Nice break from the traveling press corps.
Charlie, she is the best receptionist I have ever had.
I'm hoping to say the same.
God, Charlie, please do not crap where I work.
Michelle, I love this show. Charlie Sheen, that guy's hilarious. Not to be abrupt or to rush you, but you have 19 minutes left.
Well, I'll take that as an invitation to cut to the chase.
I'm all ears, or so I've been told.
Sir, in the very near future, we're going to be experiencing our first 9/11 anniversary with you as Commander-in-Chief.
Yes, a very solemn day for our nation, and yet a day for historical reflection and consciousness as well.
Very much so, sir, very much so indeed. Now, in researching your position regarding the events of 9/11 and the subsequent investigation that followed, am I correct to understand that you fully support and endorse the findings of the commission report, or otherwise known as the official story?
Do I have any reason not to, given that most of us are presumably in touch with similar evidence?
Well, I really wish that were the case, sir. Are you aware, Mr. President, of the recent stunning revelations that 60% of the 9/11 commissioners have publicly stated that the government agreed not to tell the truth on 9/11 and that the Pentagon was engaged in deliberate deception about their response to the attack?
I am aware of certain infighting during the course of their very thorough and tireless investigative process.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. President, it's hard to label this type of friction as infighting or make the irresponsible leap to thorough. You know, when the evidence I insist you examine regarding the 6 of the 10 members are statements of fact.
No disrespect, Mr. Sheen, but I have to ask, what is it that you seem to be implying with the initial direction of this discussion?
I'm really not implying anything, Mr. President. I'm here to present the facts and see what you plan to do with them.
Let me guess, your facts that allegedly support these claims are in the folders you brought with you.
Good guess, Mr. President. Again, sir, these are not my opinions or assumptions. This is all a matter of public record, reported through mainstream media, painstakingly fact-checked and verified. And you'll notice, sir, on page 1 of the dossier I handed you, dated August of '06 from the Washington Post, the statements of John Farmer, senior counsel of the 9/11 Commission, his quote stating, "I was shocked how different the truth was from the way it was described." He goes on further to state the NORAD air defense. Those tapes told a radically different story from what had been told to us in the public for 2 years. On pages 2 and 3, sir, are statements as well from Commission Co-Chairman Thomas Keane and Lee Hamilton, Commissioners Bob Kerrey, Timothy Romer, and John Lehman, as well as the statements of Commissioner Max Cleland, a senator from Georgia who resigned, stating, and I quote, "It's a national scandal. This investigation is now compromised. One of these days, we'll have to get the full story because the 9/11 issue is so important to America, but this White House wants to cover it up." He also described President Bush's desire to delay the process as to not damage the '04 re-election bid. Now, they suspect deception to the point where they considered referring the matter to the Justice Department for criminal investigation, Mr. President. This information alone is unequivocally grounds for a new investigation.
Mistakes were clearly made, but we as a people and as a country need to move forward. It is obviously in our best interest as a democratic society to focus our efforts and our resources on the future of this great nation and our allies for this type of terrorism in the coming years.
Sir, how can we focus on the future when the Commission itself is on record stating that they still don't know the truth?
Even if what you say in some capacity begins to approach an open discussion or a balanced debate, I can't speak for or about decisions certain Commission members made during an extremely difficult period. Wait, don't tell me. I was easier to track down than they were.
Not exactly, sir, but let's be honest. You're the President of the United States. You're the leader of the free world. The buck stops with you. 9/11 has been the pretext for the systematic dismantling of the Constitution and our Bill of Rights. Your administration is reading from the exact same playbook as the Bush administration, foisted on America through documented secrecy and deception.
Mr. Sheen, I'm having a difficult time sitting here and listening to you draw extreme parallels between the Bush-Cheney regime and mine.
Mr. President, the parallels are not distorted just because you say they are. Let's stick to the facts. You promised to abolish the Patriot Act and then voted to reauthorize it. You pledged to end warrantless wiretapping against the American people and now energetically defend it. You decried the practice of rendition and now continue it. You promised over and over again on the campaign trail that you'd end the practice of indefinite detention, and instead you've expanded it to permanent detention of detainees without trial. This far exceeds the outrages of the former administration. And call me crazy, Mr. President, but is this not your record?
Mr. Sheen, my staff and I authorized this interview based on your request to discuss 9/11 and deliver some additional information you're convinced I had not previously reviewed.
Sir,
now, call me crazy, but it appears that you've blindly wandered off topic.
Sir, the examples I just illustrated are a direct result of 9/11.
And I'm telling you that we must move forward. We must endure through these politically challenging and dangerous
Mr.
times
President,
ahead.